Welcome back to RF Coins. Today's episode is all about one very special coin. You might even have it sitting in your pocket right now or hiding in a jar full of change somewhere in your home. We're talking about the mysterious and highly valuable 1982 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could actually be worth over $500,000 if you've got the right one. That's right, the market value for certain rare 1982 pennies has been estimated as high as $585,345. Sounds insane? Well, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this humble coin from 1982 has become one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American history. So grab your magnifying glass, check those coin jars, and let's dive deep into the incredible world of the 1982 Lincoln penny. To understand why the 1982 Lincoln penny is so significant, we first need to look at a bit of history. In the early 1980s, the United States Mint was facing rising costs. Copper prices were going up rapidly, and producing pennies, which were made mostly of copper at the time, became more expensive than the face value of the coin itself. Yes, the government was literally losing money every time they minted a penny. So in 1982, the mint made a monumental change. They switched the composition of the penny from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a new formula, 97.5% zinc with a thin 2.5% copper plating. This made the coins cheaper to produce and solved a major problem for the mint, but here's where things get interesting. The change wasn't made all at once. In fact, both copper and zinc pennies were produced in 1982, and multiple variations were created during this transitional year. There are 7 different types of 1982 pennies, each with slight differences that can have a major impact on their value. There are 7 recognized varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent, and here's a breakdown of each one: 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc. Each of these types can be identified based on 2 factors: the size of the date on the obverse of the coin and the metal composition. Now you might be asking, how do you tell them apart? To determine whether a 1982 penny is copper or zinc, you can do a simple weighing test. A copper penny will weigh around 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny is much lighter at around 2.5 grams. All you need is a precise digital scale that measures in grams, and you're good to go. But what really drives collectors wild is the rare combination of a small date design minted on a copper planchet. This coin was not supposed to exist, yet at least one example has surfaced. In 2017, a collector discovered something unbelievable. It was a 1982 D small date penny made of solid copper, not zinc. This was a coin that the United States Mint never officially released. According to records, all 1982 D small date pennies were supposed to be zinc. But somehow, a few copper planchets were used, creating one of the rarest Lincoln pennies ever struck. This accidental minting error created a coin so rare that it shocked even professional numismatists. Only a few examples are known to exist, and they're considered holy grails of modern coin collecting. In recent years, one of these rare 1982 D small date copper pennies was professionally graded and valued at an estimated $585,345. That's more than $500,000 for a single penny that someone could have easily spent on gum or dropped on the sidewalk. So, how can you tell if your 1982 penny might be worth a fortune? First, sort all your 1982 pennies by mint mark. The D means it was minted in Denver, and no mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. Next, separate the large date from the small date. The small date is a bit trickier to identify, but here's a tip: look at the 2 in the date. On the small date, the top of the 2 curves upward, almost in line with the top of the 1. On the large date, it droops slightly below. Once you think you found a small date, weigh the coin. If it weighs close to 3.11 grams, you might be holding a copper version. If you're lucky enough to find a 1982 D small date penny that weighs 3.1 grams, do not spend it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. It could be a life-changing discovery. Even if you don't have the rare copper small date, 1982 pennies are still in demand. Collectors are always looking for pristine examples of each variety, especially those in mint state. High-grade large-date copper and small-date zinc pennies can sell for anywhere from $20 to $200, and complete sets of all 1982 varieties are popular with coin enthusiasts, but nothing compares to the staggering value of the copper small-date D-mint penny. With an estimated market value of $585,345, it stands as one of the most valuable modern-era Lincoln cents ever discovered. This value is not just a rumor, it's backed by professional grading, confirmed metal composition, and auction market interest. So what's the lesson here? The 1982 Lincoln penny is more than just a small copper or zinc disc. It's a window into American economic history, a story of rising costs and rapid change, and most exciting of all, it's a symbol of how rare treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always check your coins. The next time you get change at the grocery store, don't ignore that old penny. It might just be one of the most valuable coins ever minted, and if you do find one of these elusive 1982 D small-date copper pennies, congratulations. You've just discovered a piece of history worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of amazing coin finds and collectibles. Comment below if you've got any 1982 pennies or if you're going to start searching your change jar today. And share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might be sitting on a coin worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and keep your eyes on your change. That ordinary-looking penny might just be your golden ticket. Today we've got a red-hot video for you that's going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of coin collecting and focusing on one small but mighty piece of copper that could be sitting in your pocket right now. That's right, we're talking about the 1996 Lincoln penny. You heard that right. A penny. 1 cent. But what if I told you that some versions of this tiny coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today? One specific rare variety even fetched a market value of over $585,344. So don't go anywhere, because this video is packed with everything you need to know, from its fascinating history, to era varieties, to current market prices, and how you might just strike it rich by checking your change jar. Let's get started. The 1996 Lincoln penny may seem like just another ordinary coin, but it's part of a legacy that stretches back more than a century. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was also the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, a massive change in tradition at the time. The original design was created by Victor David Brenner, and his initials, VDB, can still be found on many pennies, though not on all of them. Over the years, the Lincoln cent has undergone changes in its composition and minor design adjustments, but it has remained one of the most iconic and collected coins in American history. Fast forward to 1996. By this time, the penny was no longer made from pure copper. In fact, since 1982, pennies have been made from a composition of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper, with a thin copper plating. Despite this, collectors continue to search for 1996 pennies because of their potential to contain rare errors or minting quirks that make them extremely valuable. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes the 1996 Lincoln penny so special? Why would anyone pay thousands, let alone hundreds of thousands, for a coin that most people overlook or even throw away? Well, here's the secret: errors and varieties. The United States Mint produces billions of coins each year, and sometimes, just sometimes, mistakes happen. These mistakes can include double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and more. When a mistake is rare enough and in high demand among collectors, the value skyrockets. Some 1996 pennies were struck with unusual die errors or minting abnormalities that make them highly desirable. For example, double die obverse errors show slight doubling on the date or lettering, a subtle detail, but one that can add massive value to the coin. Another sought-after error is the off-center strike, where the image on the coin is noticeably shifted from the center, often making it look misaligned or partially missing. And then there are broad strike errors and transitional planchet errors that make these coins pop on the auction block. And here's where things get crazy: one verified specimen of a 1996 penny with multiple errors and in near-perfect condition fetched an unbelievable $585,344 at auction. That's right. A penny. Worth more than $500,000. Now let's talk about what you should be looking for in your spare change, coin jar, or old penny collection. You don't need fancy tools, just a keen eye and maybe a magnifying glass. First, check the date, it should clearly say 1996. Then check for a mint mark just below the year. You might see AD for Denver or no mark, which indicates Philadelphia. While both can be valuable, some of the most prized 1996 era coins come from the Denver Mint. Next, examine the coin for doubling. That's when the letters or numbers appear to have a slight shadow or double image. Focus especially on the word liberty, the date, and the phrase "In God we trust." If you see doubling, don't clean the coin, that can reduce its value. Just store it safely and consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. Also check for any center strikes. If Lincoln's head is shifted toward one edge or partially missing, that could be a winner. And if you find a penny that feels different in weight or color, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet, another rare error that can dramatically increase value. Let's talk about money, because that's why we're here. What is the current market value of a 1996 penny? For most circulated coins, the value is just 1 cent, maybe a bit more if in good condition. But error coins and high-grade specimens are a whole different story. A 1996 penny in mint state condition, that's MS-67 or higher, can sell for anywhere from $50 to $300, depending on the mint mark and quality. But once you factor in errors or proof-like condition, the price can shoot up to the thousands. Double die examples have sold for $1,000 to $5,000, depending on visibility. Off-center errors and misstrikes can go for similar amounts. And that record-breaking coin, the one that sold for $585,344, was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector interest. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly feature these kinds of coins, and online marketplaces such as eBay and Great Collections also offer platforms to buy or sell these valuable pieces. So yes, it's 100% possible to turn that dusty old penny into a 5- or 6-figure payday. So, what have we learned today? That little penny in your pocket could be worth a fortune. The 1996 Lincoln penny may look ordinary at first glance, but if it has the right combination of mint errors, rarity, and condition, it could be one of the most valuable coins in circulation today. If you're serious about coin collecting or just curious about what's hiding in your change jar, now is the perfect time to start looking. Learn to recognize error types. Invest in a magnifier or digital microscope. And remember, always handle coins by the edge and never clean them. Keep an eye out for any coin that looks different, strange, or just plain odd. Because one day, you might just find a 1996 penny that turns out to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And hey, if you liked this video and found it helpful, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn more about rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment down below if you've ever found a cool penny or if you have questions about coin collecting. Who knows, maybe the next big discovery is sitting in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Today's video is going to absolutely blow your mind. You're about to learn about a coin that you probably have sitting around your house right now, a coin that could be worth as much as $585,343. That's right, we're talking about the legendary 1998 D. Lincoln penny, not just any penny. The 1998 Denver minted Lincoln cent is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins from the modern era. And believe it or not, many people are walking around with one of these in their change without realizing they're carrying a small fortune in their pockets. So sit tight, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's dive deep into the world of the 1998 D. Lincoln penny, its origin, secrets, and stunning value in today's coin market. The birth of a penny, 1998 history and minting. Let's set the stage with a little history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909 when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regularly circulating coin in the United States to feature the face of a real historical person. Fast forward to 1998, a year that brought with it a lot of change, not just in the world but also in U.S. coinage. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year, just like it did every year. But something was different. A handful of these coins had unique characteristics that went unnoticed by the public, until coin collectors and numismatists began to dig deeper. These weren't just ordinary copper-plated zinc coins. Some of them had minting errors, some had doubled dies, and others had unusually high-quality strikes that made them stand out. What makes the 1998 Lincoln penny so special, you might be wondering, how could a coin that says 1 cent on the back be worth over $500,000? The answer lies in a few critical details. First, let's talk about errors and varieties. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors can drastically increase the value of a coin. These can include doubled dies, center strikes, clipped planchets, and more. The 1998 penny has a few known varieties that collectors go absolutely crazy for. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1998 wide AM penny, although most of those were from the Philadelphia Mint. Still, there are rare instances where error combinations, strong die strikes, and pristine conditions elevate even Denver-minted coins to staggering values, but it doesn't end there. Condition is everything. A coin graded MS69 or MS70, which means it's nearly perfect under magnification, can command prices you wouldn't believe. We're talking about pennies selling for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in major auctions. One of the rarest and finest known examples of the 1998 Lincoln penny recently sold for a jaw-dropping $585,343 due to its flawless condition and exceptional strike. Understanding the coin grading scale and why it matters now, let's pause for a second and talk about something called the Sheldon coin grading scale. This is a 70-point scale used by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC to determine the condition and value of coins. A penny in average circulated condition might only be worth face value, but one that's graded mint state 68 or higher, that's where the real money is. Imagine this: two people have the same coin. One of them has it sitting in a jar full of nickels and quarters. It's scratched, tarnished, and worn down. It's worth a penny. The other person has the exact same 1998 Lincoln penny, but it's flawless. Shiny. Untouched. Minted perfectly. That person could walk away with more than $500,000. Market value: what is the 1998 Lincoln penny worth today? Okay, now let's talk real numbers. According to the latest auction data, uncirculated 1998 Lincoln pennies can fetch anywhere from $25 to $500 depending on grade. Once you start hitting mint state 67 or above, that's where you enter the high roller territory. MS68 examples have been known to sell for $5,000 to $15,000 depending on demand and auction house reputation. But the biggest shocker? A gem-quality 1998 penny certified as MS69 sold for an incredible $585,343. That's more than the average cost of a house in many parts of America. For a single 1-cent coin. Let that sink in. Collectors are scouring their collections, searching through rolls of pennies from the bank, checking eBay listings, and hitting flea markets and garage sales just hoping to find one of these ultra-rare, high-grade examples. How to find and identify one of these valuable coins? So what can you do? You might be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. Here's a simple step-by-step guide to check if your 1998 penny is valuable. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and inspect your coin closely. Look for sharp details, no visible scratches, and a strong mint strike. Check for any doubling in the letters or numbers, especially on Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date. Make sure the coin is not worn. The more pristine it looks, the better your chances. Step 4, if it looks promising, consider sending it to a professional grading service. PCGS or NGC can certify your coin and give it a grade that can skyrocket its value. Step 5, follow auction listings and keep up with market trends. Coin values change based on demand, and having a certified coin gives you the edge. Final thoughts. Why the 1998 D penny matters. The 1998 D Lincoln penny is more than just loose change. It's a living piece of American history, a symbol of how even the smallest objects can carry immense value. Whether it's due to minting errors, pristine condition, or simple rarity, this humble penny has become one of the most exciting coins in modern numismatics. So the next time you see a penny, don't just toss it aside. Examine it. Appreciate it. It might just be worth more than your entire wallet. Who knew that one of the smallest coins in American currency could carry one of the biggest payouts in the coin collecting world?